And now, our feature presentation.
This is not it. Marcus Aurelius is dead, Maximus. We mortals are but shadows and dust. Shadows and dust, Maximus!
The training Lyceum of Antonius Maximo. Caesar is proud to give you alias Maximus.
Well, staying with crypto, we've been talking a lot about Ripple on this show, the company that's currently embroiled in a fierce battle with the SEC over the status of its XRP coin. But it's not the only lawsuit in the works. There's also a class action suit that's been filed on behalf of the thousands of XRP customers who lost a lot of money when the SEC sued Ripple and the value of XRP tanked. Charlie Gasparino is here. We welcome also John Deaton, the lawyer who's representing those XRP customers. And I know that you too have had a lot of discussions about this already, Charlie.
Yeah, we should also get a price of XRP if we can, because it's pertinent to this this story. John, thanks for joining us. We've been conversing a little bit on Twitter. I'd like to ask you this: what is the ultimate goal of the case? And when did you get into this, and why? Why did you? Because you're a lawyer. I haven't read about you in the past going after major corporations. This is a class action suit, I believe, against the Securities Exchange Commission. Am I right about that?
Yes. Right now, it's a motion to intervene into the SEC versus Ripple case.
So, what made you get into it?
Well, first off, I want to thank you, Cheryl, for having me. And when I say thank you, I'm not just saying thank you on behalf of myself. I'm saying thank you on behalf of 22,000 XRP holders who have joined this fight.
Remember, the SEC sued Ripple, saying the XRP cryptocurrency that's used on the Ripple platform is a security, and they should have registered it, which they didn't. And they're saying because of that, you owe us a ton of money, $1.5 billion. When that happened, XRP was deplatformed from major exchanges. The price went down. People like you're a holder, I assume, in the past of this. I think that's you've mentioned that to me in the past. But people like you who held it saw the value of the holdings go down dramatically. And here's the rub. The rub, the way I read your complaint and the comments by the XRP community is simply this: Ripple used XRP to finance the build out of its Ripple platform, which is actually a decent platform. It's cross-border payments with crypto, obviously the XRP. It's no different than what Ethereum did with Ether back in the day, but Ethereum got a pass with Ether. You guys didn't.
Yeah. Hey. What's up? We connect.
And one of the things happening right now is, of course, the upgrade to the Ethereum network, because in the past, Ethereum's been criticized for perhaps slow transaction speeds as well. Many are excited, many expect it to be a silver bullet to some of the Ethereum network's problems. Will it?
Yeah, so Ethereum 2.0 has been long in the making. It's a very complex project, but we sorted out most of the difficult elements and launched them in the first phase of the project. Ethereum version 1 runs beautifully. It's as Ms. Yellen indicated, it's not very scalable right now, but we're building in layer 2, anchored into the security model of layer 1 on Ethereum.
So what is your resolution? What would you like to see?
Well, right now, we've asked the court permission to come into the case and intervene as de facto defendants, or in the alternative, to grant us amicus standing with participatory rights. Basically, what that means is to allow us to prove that the XRP that we purchased is not only not a security, we also didn't enter into a common enterprise with Ripple.
You mentioned conflicts of interest. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. Jay Clayton was the head of the SEC that brought the case. A guy named Bill Henman was then at the head of corporate finance for the SEC, who played a role, I guess, in the case. You believe that those two gentlemen, who, by the way, we've reached out for comment, they say no, they don't want to come on. So just so you know, I've tried to get them to give their side of the story. You think that they filed these cases and they have huge conflicts of interest. Can you explain some of that?
Sure. Well, here's what you have. You have Jay Clayton, who was the chairman of the SEC. His law firm represents Ethereum co-founders and competitors to Ripple. Bill Henman worked for Simpson Thacher. It was a board member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. And while he was working at the SEC, he was having private meetings with these Ethereum investors and collecting $15 million while working at the SEC from the firm that's on the board of the Ethereum Alliance. After all these private meetings, Charlie, he gives a speech that declares Ethereum not a security, and we found out that these Ethereum investors helped write the speech.
Are you going to depose them in your suit?
Well, the goal is to depose them right now.
Gary, appreciate the regulation of crypto that you're pursuing. One question for you is, you've said that there can't be 5,000 to 6,000 private forms of money, referring to the approximately 6,500 tokens there are, but that's a patently false statement. Barely, but the majority of those tokens are not trying to be private forms of money. So how do you reconcile that?
Well, I don't know your first name, I apologize, but I think that you raise a good point. I was using the term cryptocurrencies loosely. They're not all currencies, but I also think that each of these individual projects, if they want to compete as a form of money, that's unlikely. If they're competing as something else, if they're offering something to the public, other than investment contract. I mean, Preet was saying that they're maybe not investment contracts. If they're investment contracts and they're a form of security, which I think there are many of them are, again, based on facts and circumstances, that would be different. But it's hard to say that they are, all not investment contracts and all not some form of trying to be some form of private money. And then you say, well, they're a commodity. But I'd ask back, how many forms of precious metal really compete as some form of long-term form of store of value?
I guess the answer to that is pretty straightforward, though. You'd have gold and then some other precious metals for different commodities. But I think that we all want you to succeed in pursuing this regulation of crypto, but some of those statements probably rip some credibility off you. So I'd ask you to sort of probably consider them more closely, because it's not like you say that like there's file storage systems such as Filecoin, which are decentralized AWS, let's say, and you're not saying that AWS or Amazon stock or Microsoft stock or Google stock are forms of money. I just think statements like that are probably ruffling feathers.
Just seeking to go into court in the Southern District of New York and represent ourselves and defend what we own, because Ripple's not going to do it and the SEC's not going to do it.
You want to answer the question, Cheryl?
Well, you know, I want to say that the two of you are going to continue this conversation, because this story between the two of you and this interview is all over Twitter. And there was a lot of interest in this whole case, and it is fascinating. I'm going to let both of you continue with this. It's going to be online. Follow Charlie in particular on his Twitter blog, where that's all the news is breaking. And John Deaton, thank you so much for this. This was great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me. We appreciate it. Charlie's been on top of this from the beginning.
It's fascinating, and he has been. Guys, thank you very much.
If I'm right about micropayments becoming like the thing, there's going to be a massive revolution in the way software interacts with money, and that's going to be a tremendous opportunity. That's going to be a whole new multi-billion-dollar industry.